I've done the worst jobs, so now it's time for the best jobs. The same rules apply. I'm gonna pick one job from each crystal set for the party. I have to use at least one job from each crystal in my party at all times. Then, I just have to use the 4 unique jobs and all of their abilities to beat the game and see the credits. As for actually picking the best jobs, there's at least a dozen ways you could build this party. Back to the process of elimination. The best party cannot possibly contain anything from the worst party. That's obvious. Thief, Berserker, Bard, and Dragoon are excused. Especially you, Dragoon. The worst jobs did make it through relatively painlessly thanks to some meta knowledge and Berserker strength maxing with equip axes. The next easy eliminations are the runner-ups to the worst jobs. This would be Geomancer and Dancer. Choosing between Geomancer and Bard could have gone either way, but Geomancer eked out a dodge based almost entirely on its ability to spam Wind Slash on Neo X death. I hate Dancer, and that's grounds enough for dismissal as far as I'm concerned. The problem is the dance command is simply too inconsistent. The best party will be able to trash everything easily. Fishing for a 1 in 4 chance to do your only source of damage is not something the best party will be doing. Not even close. Consistency is the name of the game, and Dancer and Geomancer just want to roll dice, so goodbye. The next safe eliminations are Mime and Freelancer. Mime and Freelancer are surprisingly good, and they get better with access to other jobs. But they don't really have job abilities of their own, so I'm just going to dismiss them on principle. And if I do pick Mime, there is a nightmare scenario where I go White Mage into Mime into Ranger. That would mean I have to fight Byblos with exclusively White Mages. Never again. Especially when the rest of the Water Crystal consists entirely of wizards who will trash the game. The best party in the game will consist entirely of Freelancers and Mimes, but only at the very end of the game after other jobs have been mastered. But that's just not going to happen this playthrough. I want to use jobs with job abilities, you know, the name of the game. With those easy eliminations, I think it's time to choose my first job. This is the most important one, and it's going to dictate the rest of the picks. I'm looking at the big picture here. All jobs within the context of the whole game. Every even remotely tricky boss fight needs a solution. That means Monk's gotta go. Monk is very strong in the early game, but at the end of the game, it really peters out. I'd be forced to give it some alternative abilities to even do anything. I don't need another Dragoon situation where I'm resorting to a dedicated high potion chucker. That would never happen in the best party. Sorry, Monk, but you're just not that great in Final Fantasy V. You're the king in many other FFs, though. The remaining Wind Crystal jobs are all acceptable. White Mage is the crux of a balanced party. Healing and support abilities are incredibly helpful. The game expects you to have a White Mage in your party at all times. The issue is that I'd be solo White Mage until the Water Crystal. Is that enough of a reason to discount White Mage? If I could pick 2 jobs from the Wind Crystal, I would probably be taking a White Mage, but because I can only pick 1, I think White Mage is out. I need reliable, consistent damage to win. That means Knight can go too. High physical damage is always relevant, and Knight is a very consistent job. But a lack of target all damage makes for a few rough patches for Knights. Sorry guy, you're out. Black Mage and Blue Mage are what's left. Blue Mages may not be as powerful as Black Mages, but they can still smash rods. Shields are really good, so that's a nice little bonus too. Both jobs are going to be sitting in the back row. Blue Mage is also a lot easier to master. I really think either would be fine, but I'm picking the one job that is unique to Final Fantasy V, Blue Mage. When push comes to shove, I just like Blue Mage a little bit more. It also makes for a little more interesting of a playthrough. Unfortunately, a lot like Red Mage, Black Mage actually peaks at Karnak. This is all because, in the Pixel Remaster, smashing rods is always, and I mean always, Black Mage's best option. The sad reality is that every mage job can do that, so Black Mage doesn't really bring much unique or interesting to the table. The man in the Domino Mask wins it out. Worth noting right now is that since I have a Blue Mage, well, technically every job I pick from now on is also a Blue Mage. If Black Mage and White Mage didn't make the cut, the next safe elimination is Red Mage. Red Mage's dual cast is disgusting if you have White, Black, Time, or Summon magic. Blue magic cannot be dual casted. That means Red Mage is really just bringing dual cast Cure 2s to the table. That's not nearly enough. Red Mage, you're out. Let's head on down to the Earth Crystal now. Samurai and Chemist are pretty good contenders for the top spot. Samurai is another shield user, and it's very survivable with an 8 Blade Grasp. Samurai's Guild Toss, or the Zenny Cannon as I call it, is on the table and it is incredibly strong. Depending on my job setups, I may actually just be able to head into the Gil Cave and collect millions of Gil to fire it endlessly. But is it better than Chemist? Chemist unlocks even more chicanery. There's loads of goofy stuff I can do with a Chemist, and I won't be broke all of the time throwing Gil at everything that moves. Chemist's Drink can give me double HP, Protect, Haste. That alone might be worth the spot. Mix also solves a lot of potential problems that Blue Mage might have some trouble with. Playing with my eyes glued to the spreadsheet sucks, but you know what? Past Wes already did some of that legwork. Maybe the deciding factor is that Chemist can act as a healer. If I'm ever forced to throw high potions for any reason, well, Chemist is just better at it. Talked myself into it. I'm going with Chemist. It just has a lot more potential to be stupid. Well, that's half the party selected. What's left? Mystic Knight and Ranger together is a pretty gross combo, but is it better than taking something else? Ranger wants to be in the back row with a bow, and that's a little anti-synergistic with Magic Sword since I'd have to use a dagger, and that requires being in the front row. Chemist can also be boosted by Magic Sword, but I'd rather be buffing or throwing mixes. Rapid Fire and Spellblade are amazing skills when combined on a Freelancer, but separately on Mystic Knight and Ranger, I don't think they synergize well enough with what I'm going for. Blue Mage is not a physical attacker, and Chemist has a lot better options too. I think for that reason, Ranger is out, and I'm going to go ahead and drop Mystic Knight here too. The Fire Crystal is honestly the least remarkable for what I'm leaning into, which is more magic based. In isolation, I'd probably pick Ninja over Beastmaster, but what does it actually bring to the party? Throw would be really strong, but Blue Magic kind of covers everything Throw would be good at. That leaves like Dual Wield for a bunch of non-physical attackers, and Image? Image is pretty good, but I don't see much need for it. I can get a plethora of powerful buffs from Chemist. Ninja really is just not bringing anything to the table. Ninja, you're excused. That's right, the Fire Crystal pick is Beastmaster. Beastmaster and Blue Mage are just best friends. Beastmaster helps unlock Blue Mage's true potential. With Control, I can get some really strong heals, buffs, and other difficult to learn Blue Magic abilities. If push comes to shove, I'd chuck a Sandbear at someone, or catch and release 4 times Breathwing if I really wanted to grind for catch. That's 3 down. The Water Crystal pick is surprisingly difficult. Time Mage gets absolutely disgusting later on. Quick is undoubtedly the single strongest move in the game. Double turns in turn-based games is just pretty good. That's all the way in the merged world though. Pre-merged world, are they as good? Slow and Haste are nice for sure, but they kind of lack any other abilities. Gravity is cool, if it works, and Time Mage is a Rod Smasher. Time Mage also learns Equip Rods, so I could just teach that to everyone and make everyone Rod Smash. Summoner absolutely steamrolled the game. I basically flew through the rift summoning Bahamut and Sildra. Golem and Carbuncle are also super useful. If you asked me what was the easiest job in all of these single job challenges, Summoner would have been one of the contenders for the top spot. I really don't think this pick changes much at the end of the day. I'm leaning heavily into Blue Magic for most of the game. Alright, you know what? I figured out what the tiebreaker's gonna be. Who has the larger extruded brain horn? It's gotta be Time Mage. You know his giant brain extrudes all the way up that stupid dunce cap. That's it. My best party. Or at least the one I picked. Blue Mage, Time Mage, Beastmaster, and Chemist. Let's do this. Look at that! Wing Raptor is already cooked, and those Wind Crystal shards are mine for the taking. The mysterious man in the domino mask makes his appearance. And because of that, I need to farm the blue magic spells in the Bay Area. This is a redemption run. I'm going to get them all this time. For real. Starting off by picking up Goblin Punch and then Arrow in the Wind Shrine. With Goblin Punch, I never have to physically attack again. So I'm back row, okay baby. Now I return to the Pirate's Cove to pick up Vampire from the Steel Bats. Oh come on, just cast it already. Finally. Let's see what those pirates have been up to. What's this? Boko's been injured?
Look how they mess with my boy.
How did I never know about this? Sorry buddy, but I got a world to save. Which involves talking to Zoc and getting the canal key. I'm loaded up with swords, shields, and potions. Let's skedaddle. Straight into the obvious trap and oh no, it's Carlibos. I will defeat him using my eclectic mix of newly acquired blue magic. Goblin Punch is free, but Arrow is slightly superior damage output. If I do get tail screwed, well, I can just use my few remaining brain cells to throw a potion. Carlibos crushed, Sildra's flushed, and I'm reduced to a lowly floater on the way to the ship graveyard, where there's absolutely nothing new, so I'm spamming Goblin Punch until the giant siren appears. The classics never go out of style. I'm Goblin Punching Human Siren and then blasting Arrow at her disgusting undead form. That's right, not a single potion used this time. I'm out of here. Cruising down to Carwin, and yes, I will be taking the Frost Rod, thank you very much. Along with Carwin's new wares. Hey, new swords will boost Goblin Punch, and they're quite fashionable. I've climbed the North Mountain only to find King Tycoon's helmet. Oh, Lena, please, not again. Oh no, anyone but her! Did you guys know that if you're the same level as your target, that Goblin Punch deals 8 times damage? Well, you do now. Magisa is getting her clock cleaned. How convenient that Forza is the same level too. Hiryu's rescued and there's some even more poison slurping from Lena. When will she learn? I'm flying straight down to Waltz now. I feel the call of another job. But first, I snag the silver specs and the elf cape in the basement. King Walls, you gotta stop using the crystal. Oh, come on, no one ever listens to me. Why do I even bother? I flew north to the Waltz Tower. There's more magic for the man in the domino mask to discover. I'm hunting for elf toads. I mean, I thought for sure they were around here. A John Locke moment, perhaps?
I was wrong.
I'm sure that fire rod drop will come in handy, though. But there's not a toad in sight. Garulla's gonna smash the water crystal one way or the other. I'm headed back to Walls to enter the water tower. There are those greasy toads. I'm isolating one, then waiting for Pawn's Chorus to land. Now, I'm giving it the Goblin Punch. Since I'm here, let's go domesticate Shiva. I walk in, and then she taunts me. I respond by breaking a flame rod, atomizing her and the guards instantly. I'm done. Back to the Waltz Tower. Straight up to the top, and it's Garulla. Oh no, he's mad. I will simply cast Pawn's Chorus. Garulla will live the rest of his life as a frog. May as well smash that frost rod from Shiva while we're at it. Garulla's self-toad weft, you best be toaded. I will then proceed with the Goblin Punch. That's one way to beat up an elephant frog? Oh, look at that. A blowed up crystal means a new job for old Wesley. But there's no time! We gotta escape the collapsing tower! Get it? Because, like, I just got Time Mage. I returned to Waltz and grabbed the Time Magic, or GQ spells. I crossed to Karnak, where a knack grinding session was inevitable. It's a bit slow with only arrow, but it's fine. I haven't really grinded, but Blue Mage is an easy master. So my Time Mage is now also a fully fledged Blue Mage. Yeah, Blue Mage is a real fast master. Oh, right, I actually grinded on knacks for question mark. Almost forgot that was the real reason I grinded here. Whoops. I was jailed in Karnak for being too powerful? It's more likely than you think. Brainlord Sid is here, but my Time Mage's extruded Brainhorns laugh. He is truly a Sid. I entered Karnak, grabbed a couple of rods just in case, and then ripped straight to the fire ship. Sid, you're still complaining about time? I basically came straight here. The fire ship is unremarkable. I simply blasted myself down to the engine room after I isolated a crew dust and made him flash me. But in the engine room, Queen Karnak threw a fire at me. But it was just a man this whole time? Unfortunately, I just don't have any cute gimmicks for Liquid Flame. I simply smashed an ice rod to blow him away instantly. And just like that, Liquid Flame and by extension the Fire Crystal are no more. Did I do that? Whoops. I gotta cheese it out of Karnak before it gets blowed up. But I've always gotta grab the Gauche. Unironically, Time Mage's best weapon for the endgame. You never skip grabbing the Gauche, especially when there are Gigases present. I'm on a time crunch, but I'm waiting for Arrow 2 to come out. Finally, now it's time to take him down. One more blue magic spell for the spell pool. I also snagged the second elf cape, of course, and a couple of chests on the way out. The exit. But I'm experiencing an ambush. Ironclaw does like to use Deathclaw, and that's one more easy blue magic spell to get. I just blasted the wolves, revealed Ironclaw, and waited. Come on, man, the castle's gonna blow up. Finally, Deathclaw. Learning is imminent. I then proceeded to explode Ironclaw. I'm out of here. The fire crystal shards are mine, and yeah, my job of choice is actually one of them. Beastmaster is now on the team, and just like with Time Mage, it's also a fully fledged Blue Mage. Honestly, the Fire Crystal is a very meh crystal for what I'm doing, but Beastmaster and Blue Mage truly are best friends. I was in such a rush that I actually forgot to grab the Time Magic spells in Karnak. Whoops, that's remedied. Ferris is currently level 15, and so is the rest of the party. As the resident Blue Mage, she's gonna take a dirt nap until I get exactly 1 level. Now that I've offset the levels, I restocked on items and got situated with new gear before heading to the ancient library. On the way in the desert, I was attacked by a Dorm Chimera, who instantly used Aqua Breath, so I fired up Era. Thankfully, the Dorm Chimera's next attack whiffed, and I took it down. Aqua Breath is acquired for the Blue Magic Library. And speaking of the library, there's even more blue magic down here too. Before I grind for blue magic, I'm blasting Ifrit to next week. 2 frost rods to take him out is major overkill, but that's fine with me. I've made it to the save point. I will return to destroy all books after acquiring the forbidden knowledge held within. Page 128, you can go. Page 64, I need, oh yeah, thanks, exactly. 1 Phoenix down later and a fire rod blast, goodbye book. But it turns a page to page 256. Yeah, I'll take that one too. 1 battle for 2 blue magic spells, I'll take it every single time. Moon Flute and level 5 Death acquired. Let's mosey. Oh my god, and I unlocked control? Beautiful. But book-based boss Byblos is anything but beautiful. I could simply smash a fire rod, but let's keep it blue. I land Deathclaw almost immediately, but I'm on the quest for Magic Hammer. Byblos is at sub 10 HP. I'll just wait for Magic Hammer and then instantly kill him. But he just didn't use it, and then he killed me with Wind Slash. What is wrong with me? Just get Magic Hammer from Drippy's later, Wes, you dolt. Round 2, how embarrassing. Another painless Deathclaw connection followed immediately by a single cut. Out of my game, out of my life forever, Byblos. Back to sit in mid for rehabilitation and restoration. I'm setting sail on my new fire ship straight to Jackhole. Hey, I've got a Beastmaster. I may as well grab the Blitz Whip from the Jackhole Cave, even though I probably don't need to use it. Since I'm in the Jackhole area, a little shopping spree in town is a good idea. New weapons and armor across the board. Then I sail to Black Flame Island to grind. Just kidding. I'm here to learn Dark Spark. Having an enemy's level might be kinda cool. Now on to Crescent Island where my ship gets sucked into a whirlpool. If I had a nickel for every time that happened, I'd have 2 nickels. Kinda weird that it happened twice. I've befriended the flying Black Chocobo, who flies me back to the Brainlords. They'll know what to do. Ah, the Dune lore, of course. Why didn't I think of that? Thumper dropped and the sandworms arrived. Did you know Aqua Breath isn't actually water elemental? It just does 8 times damage to desert enemies. That's a one-shot on Shai Hulud. King Tycoon's tricking me once again, but joke's on him, I did it on purpose. Airship acquired and oh no, it's Crayclaw, what are we gonna do? Tailscrew, that's cute. I got my own version of that. Well, if I could at least land it. 6 swift Deathclaws is enough for me. 1 Thunder Rod smash and it's all over. That was the longest Crayclaw fight of my life. With the airship I can go wherever I want. And I'm starting by raising the Ronka Ruins. Then heading back to sit in mid. Adamantite, huh? Yeah, I think I can get some of that. Blue Turtle getting level 5 deathed? Yeah, I've got it. Upgrade the ship. Into the skies for the defense batteries on the Ronka Ruins. I'm loading everyone up with learning because I want to learn both Flamethrower and Missile. Once I get what I want, well, Thunder Rod smashing seems pragmatic. Missile and Flamethrower acquired. And now the Soul Cannon's here looking for a fight. Level 5 Death instantly destroys the side launchers, and then more Thunder Rods are getting smashed. Honestly, level 5 Death was probably a waste of a turn. I should have just smashed another Thunder Rod. Whatever. All machines must die. But before I enter the Ronka Ruins, I have a couple of things left to do, and I'd like to do them with Galoof. I'll be needing some mixed ingredients, including dark matters and turtle shells. I've learned my lesson from Chemist Only. Down in the South Island, I'm farming prototypes. These are easy kills. I just need to connect a control, and then make them self-destruct. Every fight yields a dark matter, and it has some really good experience. I think 15 dark matters sounds like enough. Next, I went back to Karnak. I farmed some turtles for turtle shells. Nothing very interesting at all. But what is interesting is heading back to the forest near the ancient library. I'm controlling a mithril dragon and forcing it to transfuse itself onto my blue mage. Transfusion acquired. This eluded me in blue mage only, but not anymore. Prep work finished, it's time to tackle the wonky Ronky Ruins. There's lots of stuff to get this time around, notably 2 blue magic spells. As soon as I get into a battle with enchanted fans, it's getting controlled. The Beastmaster uses the magic fan to cast White Wind on my party, then it's nuked to death with Aqua Breath. My party finally has access to healing, aka a fully balanced party, who would have guessed. Beastmaster was so worth it, man. White Wind heals for the caster's current HP. If it's low, sometimes it can be rough, but most of the time it'll be totally fine. Next up, I'm on the hunt for a Lamia. I can control it to cast 1000 needles on my blue mage. Lamias won't do this normally. You need to control them. Yeah, that's a dead blue mage alright. Phoenix down and Lamia promptly dispatched. 1000 needles does exactly what it says on the box, 1000 damage. Sounds pretty good to me. I'm scooching all the way to the bottom, but then I remember, I can get level 4 Graviga from Ghidras here, and nobody is a level divisible by 4. Alright then, let's figure out the most economical way to grind. Flame Rod boosted Flamethrower. Of course, it's genius. After a quick and economical grind session, I'm capable of learning once again. I found a Ghidra, killed it with flamethrowers, and then the final attack was level 4 Graviga. 3 blue magic spells learned in the Ronka Ruins. Now it's time to finish this out. King Tygooner over here looking a bit sus at that serpent. Archeoavis, always a little bit of a pickle. Instant Breathwing, that sounds like a job for White Wind. The Time Mage is hasting the party, and everyone else is blowing 1,000 needles like it's going out of style. I'm tearing through every form of Archeoavis. He's not long for this world, and in fact, he barely did anything. When Archeoavis revives itself, well, that's a job for level 5 death. The Earth Crystal, finally. Oh no, not the ultimate big bad guy, X-Death. He shatters the Earth Crystal, but joke's on him. He sealed his own fate once I get my hands on that incredibly busted job. Gloof's out of the party, which is why I did Chemist ingredient grinding with him present. Chemist sounds pretty good, let's get one on the team. Those Suits think it's time for Bart's World Meteor World Tour, so let's go. The bomb squad at Waltz is a prime opportunity to learn self-destruct. The whole team's equipped with learning. I just need to tank it and then beat the battle. Everyone's getting hasted, and Ferris is ripping a Goliath tonic for double health. Sure, Iron Draft too, why not? I'll regen the whole party while we're busy waiting around. Well, that took forever. Here's self-destruct. We got it, boys. But there's another one. And a third! Instantly wiped, bro, nice. Okay, let's try round 2. This time it went in my favor. Ferris spammed pharmacology potions for 100 a pop, and the bombs didn't do a synchronized self-destruct. Lena's back up after she absorbed the self-destruct with her face. Now I'm smashing ice rods to get the heck out of here. Unfortunately, the bombs are offset, so when they die, they cast a rise, and it'll revive the other ones. 4 rod smashes later, and the fight's over. Self-destruct is mine. Learning is finished. Blue is back on the party. Onwards, westward to Karnak Meteor. Titan's here, and he's in a real bad mood. I think a little acupuncture will perk him right up. Oh no, he didn't like that. Earthshaker comes out, and I really didn't even need to chug that Goliath tonic on Ferris. Everyone lived, except for Titan. He's dead. The final meteor, the Chimera Brain at Gone. That sounds like a job for a death potion mix, except I don't have mix yet, so missile maybe? Oh my god, it actually connected. Works for me. A couple of missiles to drop him into critical HP, then 1,000 needles to finish him off. And look at that, there's Mix. Nice of you to show up. I'm done with Bart's World. I can't hurl myself into the Meteor Convergence portal fast enough. An abductor! Oh no, quick self-destruct! I woke up in the prison ward. How could this happen to me? Galoof breaks me out, and he has chosen the path of the Blue Mage, of course. Gilgamesh is getting 1,000 needled to death. The gang's all together, and the full party is set up. Blue Mage, Time Mage, Beastmaster, and Chemist. The battles on the big bridge are easy. I've got Aqua Breath for fast fights, Flamethrower for economical fights, and when I get to Gilgamesh, I'm bringing out the pins. 1,000 needles is always 1,000 damage. And I do mean always. You can use Protect and Shell as much as you like, Gilgamesh. 1,000 damage every single time makes this short and sweet. The party's barrier blasted to Ragol. New gear and the always relevant high potions are here. Even with White Wind, those potions are very useful, especially since I can't cast blue spells out of combat for some reason. And speaking of spells, Comet is here along with Sloga and Return. Those are definitely time magic spells, alright. Into the Moogle Forest, we better help that little guy. I wouldn't want to upset Lena. The fears of cave diving have been quashed. This is just a lazy river rafting ride now. Aqua Breath is shockingly non-elemental, so everything's getting breathed on. To death. At the end, the Tyrannosaur is just getting destroyed by a single Phoenix down. A free win. Moogle Man's taking me back to his house. I will accept all of your treasures. The Dancing Dagger? No thanks, bro. But Elf Cave number 3 is acquired, and Kryl, get me the heck out of here. The Windrake flies me back to Ball, only to apparently give up on life. What a shame. Oh look, secret chest for teleport. That'll speed up leaving dungeons. One more W for Time Mage. Instead of going to save the Windrake, Ball's basement bonanza continues. The object darts down here are susceptible to level 5 death. The EXP and Gil are okay, but the ability point gains are incredibly high for this stage in the game. I spent a little bit of time down here to boost my jobs. Getting Mix on everyone sounds like a good idea, and it did not take very long at all. Now to exit the castle. The Windrake's life hangs in the balance, and I already wasted a bunch of time. The werewolves locked the gate. Why would they do this? Oh my god, please don't hurt me. Oh, it's just Kilgar of the Dawn Warriors, showing us his cool backstory. God, I love the Dawn Warriors. And while I usually love Kelb's strength-oriented gear, it's simply not fitting the party's vibe this time. The first battle of Drakenvale is just a silly little guy named Drippy. Magic Hammer is borderline useless, but I'm here for the full set of blue magic, and Byblos cocked me out of it. My Beastmaster controls the Drippy, and then Magic Hammer's the blue mage. We're done here. The rest of Drakenvale can burn. Everyone's got their flamethrowers out. Flame Rod boosted where applicable. That's a very economical way to get through Drakenvale. The Bone Mail and Hypno Crown are both snatched up, and very relevant to the discussion. The Bone Mail locks out traditional healing with its undead effect, but White Wind still works on it, and the Hypno Crown just makes controlling easier. I've made it to the peak where sentient grass plots revenge for all the lawns I've mowed in my life. I'm watering the plants with a single Aqua Breath to clear out the flowers. Then for once in my life, Deathclaw connected instantly. Get him, Bartz! He whiffed. Seriously? Lena, your turn. Dragon Pod killed nearly instantly, Bartz. The Windrake's dying, quick, we gotta hurry. But you know, the zombie dragons here drop dragon fangs. I'm gonna need some of those for Mix. I'm continuing to burninate the countryside. I've collected some dragon fangs and it's gonna have to be enough for now. I spent too much time, man. I sprinted all the way back to Ball and gave the Windrake his slightly singed grass. Lena had a taste too. She just can't help herself. I'm flying straight to Castle Surgate. Not for gear, but for the secrets. I worked part-time as a book reshelver, which reveals this room. Inside is the float spell, a slightly more convenient way of getting float on the party compared to Chemist's Levy Salve. A little redundancy is okay. Back on the Windrake, I land on Siege Guido's cave. It sinks. So instead, I flew to meet Zaza of the Dawn Warriors. Then Gilgamesh attacked? Now this sounds like a job for a death potion. Dark matter mixed with Phoenix Down means goodbye Gilgamesh. Straight into Zaza's sub, which rams itself into the barrier tower. Very nice structural integrity. The barrier tower is feeling a little blue. Blue magic, that is. The first one I'm going to get is Time Slip from the Traveler. I'm just waiting for it to hit Galoof so I can get out of here. I also need to get to a level divisible by 3, which means I need 1 level of grinding. Time Slip and level 30 acquired. Now for the main event. This is going to require a little bit of chicanery. This chest has a red dragon, who also has level 3 flare. But to actually make it use it is pretty obnoxious. I have to control it first, and then hit it with a mix of Phoenix Down and Dragon Fang for dragon defense. This grants a bunch of buffs, but for our purposes, it's just Reflect. Now the controller makes the red dragon use level 3 flare on itself, which bounces it onto my party. And of course it whiffs the first time. Nice. God bless the fact that I came in here with everyone capable of learning. Lena eats the second level 3 flare and is promptly revived. To not break control, I threw high potions at the red dragon. It's undead, so high potions hurt it. Level 3 flare acquired, but I'm not done here just yet. There's a chest with the gold hairpin guarded by another red dragon. I'm controlling it to lock it down, and then why not try out level 3 flare? Ah yeah, that damage is really good. The gold hairpin halves MP cost. Blue magic is very MP intensive, so it'll relieve some of the pressure. It will definitely make things a lot easier at the end of the game. I've made it to the save point. Do I want reflect rings? Maybe, but I'm more interested in guard off from Ziggurat Gigases. Yeah, that was pretty quick. 3 blue magic spells in the barrier tower, that works for me. Let's head on out of here. To find Atmos. I don't know if this works in the Pixel Remaster, but let's give it a go. For science. Presumably all I have to do is land a Dark Spark to halve his level and then hit him with level 5 death. Still works, baby! 2-turn kill on Atmos. You love to see it. Zaza's getting blowed up, and I got the submarine. It's off to my favorite locale, Sage Guido's Cave, which has the next blue magic spell, so it's not all bad this time. I got into a battle with a Metamorph. Then I waited for it to swap to an enchanted fan. Then I waited for Eroga, and I killed it. A lot of waiting around with blue mages. Eroga is my new bread and butter spell. But you know, I could farm these Metamorphs for a Staff of Light. Chemist and Time Mage can both use it. I fought like 10 with nothing in sight. I hate this place, so let's just get out of here. Guardian Branch acquired, and I'm teleporting out. Moving on to Moor, I will grab the second main Gauche. Surprisingly, this is going to be fundamental to our strategy moving forward. Moor's time magic is purchased, including the very valuable Hastega. I will be purchasing 4 air knives. I just got Aeroga, and the air knives boost it. That sounds really good. One for everybody, please. Now to enter the forest. Tiny mages. I will continue to wait around for them to use Lilliputian Lyric, or Tiny Song as I like to call it. That's all I needed. I snagged my old friend the Morningstar, followed of course by the Aegis Shield as soon as Exdeath set the forest on fire. Blue Mage being able to equip shields is nuts. What were they thinking? Oh right, they were thinking about what every developer should be thinking. Making a fun video game. I entered the Guardian Tree, and the crystals are right here. This sounds like a job for 4 times death potions. Dark matter plus Phoenix down 4 times. Out of my game, out of my life, crystals. Oh no, Exdeath showed up. Galoof, quick, kill him! Self-destruct! And self-destruct again! One more time? Alright, it's not working, fine. Aeroga it is. But Galoof's world still must be using dial-up. Galoof really did explode after all, it just took a little bit of time. Kryl, get in here. This is the 4 best jobs, so I need a 4th person, and you're the only one that's around. I'm flying straight to Exdeath's castle. Ghost Galoof and imminent future Ghost Kelgar are opening the place up for me. Thanks, guys. Exdeath's castle is mostly unremarkable, even with an Aegis shield though. I can't help but snag the ice shield. The major thing of note is magic dragons can cast level 2 old. I'm already a level divisible by 2, so I can learn it without any fuss, other than spamming White Wind until the magic dragon actually uses it. Afterwards, I'm mostly just spamming Aeroga and not fighting much else. I have to resort to 1,000 Needles on anything with Reflect, and otherwise, I'm just running. Float makes me avoid the lava tile, so that's one final jab at Geomancer. And how could I forget the Excalibur? That's a Goblin Punching booster, so I need to get it. Even though I haven't touched Goblin Punch in hours. Is the Excalibur worth fighting Gilgamesh for? Always yes. I'm opening up with Hastega on the party, and then the Aeroga spam begins. Air Knife boosted Aeroga is very disgusting at the moment. Blind, cute. The tornadoes resume. Pawn's Chorus, Time Slip. These are all my abilities, dude. Gilgamesh does not last long to hasted, boosted Aeroga spam. Not a whole lot in this game can. He transforms himself and promptly gets banished by Exdeath to the Shadow Realm. Oh, right, I was here to crush Exdeath for killing my buddy Galoof. Exdeath, as usual, opened up with Doom, but it whiffed the Blue Mage. It's fine, there's more places I can get it. For right now, I just want to win. I am immediately hasting the team with Hastega. Exdeath is cool, but he's also a fool. He's smugly sitting at level 66, which means I can just level 3 flare him to death. Since I'm using level 3 flare and not Aeroga, I don't need the wind element boost from air knives. The main Gauche's parrying is incredibly relevant. See? You always gotta grab the Gauche, and then you grab the Gauche again in more. Exdeath used reverse polarity, so everyone's moving in for the kill. 2500 damage a hit is pretty gross, and with haste, Exdeath barely does anything. When he does, he couldn't even take out Lena when she moved to the front row. How embarrassing. Exdeath is defeated, and I've returned to Bartz's world. I'm dropping off the girls at home, then heading back to Boko. He's made a complete recovery. I'm cruising through this game on autopilot, and so is Boko, because he fell into that hole. The Antlion fight? Don't make me laugh. Air Knife boosted Aeroga is good, right until Discord drops the damage. Just kidding, the Antlion is dead before I can even consider swapping to 1,000 Needles. Ferris is back in the party, and the weird turtle is telling me about books. Sounds like some nerd stuff that I don't care about at all. I'm waltzing straight into the pyramid and blasting those gargoyles with level 3 flare. It was absolutely worth getting level 3 flare. Even though I haven't done a single catch and release, Beastmaster has absolutely earned his spot in the party. Fabulous treasures of the pyramid, here I come. Everyone's capable of learning, and I'm headed to the basement. The damned have more blue magic to learn. They have both Doom and Off Guard, but I'm after Doom. Not enough MP? Okay, fine. Take some ethers and then Doom my Blue Mage. Now that that's settled, I can blow them apart with Aeroga. Only 3 blue magic spells left to get. What could they be? All I know is that they're not here. I'm racing to the top and collecting a handful of treasure chests. Most notable is the 2nd gold hairpin. No boss in the pyramid? That's weird. Anyways, here's that tablet that nerd Guido was talking about. Let's go bring it back. And then Exdeath sucked him into oblivion. Dude, nice. Oh no, not a woman! Meluzine's fire weakness is something I could easily exploit. I have like 20 flame rods left to smash, and flamethrower. Instead, I will choose to do whatever I feel like, which is hasting my team and then spamming 1,000 Needles. Barrier type is irrelevant versus 1,000 Needles. It always does 1,000 damage. Meluzine barely did anything before she was turned into a pincushion. Lena's back in the party, and I've got my airship. The merged world is at my fingertips. I'm starting by taking Boko all the way to Istri Falls to pick up the magic lamp. Yes, I will be using it. On the way back to my airship, I'm stopping by Kuza. Tablet dropped off and I can take 3 weapons. I suppose I'm taking the Assassin's Dagger, that's always relevant. Next, the Flame Lash for the Beastmaster. Finally, I guess it's the Sage Staff? Maybe it'll be useful? You can let out all the monsters of the void, see if I care, X-Death. I'm running back to my airship, and Boko, you can return home. I will now be flying to Phantom Village. I'm heading straight into the secret magic shop for Banish and Quick. Quick's gonna crack this game open like an egg. When you cast it, you get 2 turns. Yeah, just double turns in a turn-based game. Pretty good. In the accessory shop, after selling all of my spare equipment, I can afford 4 pairs of Hermes sandals. I do have haste from Time Mage, but permanent haste just means I can save a turn, and it can never be dispelled. Listen, when you're this powerful, the game is in the bag. It's just a matter of how many hairs do you really want to split to get there. I grabbed the Thief Knife on the way to the Black Chocobo and left Phantom. The blue magic roster must be filled. I'm headed to the peninsula just south of the Phoenix Tower. I sailed around until I got into a battle with the Stingray. Then I controlled it and I got it to cast Mighty Guard on my party. Float, Protect, and Shell party-wide is an insane buff for 1 turn. Now just to kill it. Stingrays are susceptible to level 3 flares, so bye-bye, idiot. I have made multiple attempts to get a Dragonbeard rare drop from Stingray in this single job challenge. This is no different. I ran from everything until I found one. As soon as Stingray showed up, I controlled it and continued to blast it to next week with level 3 flare. I spent 45 minutes here, not a Dragonbeard in sight. So I entered the island shrine. I blasted the gargoyles with level 3 flare. Then I snagged the Beast Killer Whip before continuing all the way to the bottom. I grabbed the tablet and oh no, the Wendigo? I have the Hermes sandals on, so I'm immune to Mind Blast Paralyze. Mind Blast is actually a blue magic spell that I needed, so thanks Wendigo. You're useful for something. Lena is equipped with the Ice Shield. I'm grugging this for real. I'm slamming target all Aerogas left and right. Wendigo's clones counter target all attacks with Frost. Lena just absorbs it thanks to the Ice Shield. Everyone else, on the other hand, well, they're getting toasted. It's alright, this can be a solo Lena battle. Any damage that Wendigo actually puts out is immediately counteracted by Lena absorbing ice. The island shrine is done, and that unlocks the Fork Tower, which I will proceed to right now. I'm sending the Tycoon Sisters up the magic side, and Bartz and Kryl are going up the physical side. At the top of the tower, Kryl is whipping Minotaur into shape with the Flame Lash. Bartz is keeping everyone alive with Pharmacology High Potions. Oh yeah, Bartz had equip whips on with the Beast Killer Whip too. How goofy. Minotaur is a clown. He didn't even try and cast Holy. Omniscient versus the Tycoon Sisters are up next. I have Blue Magic, and Time Magic too. I use Quick. Mighty Guard into Aeroga spam. Then Ferris does Quick into double Aeroga. Then I just decided to stop bothering with Quick and shut my brain off for Aeroga spam. Omniscient is completely destroyed. His flare counter kills Ferris, but that's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. I flew into the catapult where Sid and Mid submarinize my airship. It's time to head into the undersea trench. The gargoyles are once again level 3 flared to death. Float is preventing me from taking damage from the lava floors. I headed straight to the bottom for the tablet. 3 gross babies attack. Yeah, I will use Mega Flare from the lamp, and just to style on them, Quick into double lamp charges for Zan Tetsuken. They didn't stand a chance. Tablet acquired, and more importantly, the magic sealed within the magma flow, Meteor. Quick double Meteor sounds pretty good. I recharged the magic lamp and left the undersea trench. I have made a determination as I fly to the northern desert. The goalpost is moving. I'm going to beat the 2 optional super bosses. To do that, I need both flame rings and coral rings. There's no if, and, or buts about it. I have to get them. That's 400,000 gil worth of accessories. Time to get grinding. All things considered, this was a surprisingly short and easy grind. Float made me immune to earthquakes, then Aeroga boosted by the air knife made short work of all of the battles. Grinding 400,000 gil, of course, came with quite a few levels. I'm on the accessory grind, so I stopped by the Phoenix Tower to get at least 1 reflect ring. Hang on. I know where I can get 2 reflect rings for free. I flew back to Phantom Village, grabbed my flame and coral rings, and then submarined my way into Istri Falls. Last set of gargoyles, and maybe the last time you'll be seeing level 3 flare. You've served us well, friend. Istri Falls has many treasures. First off is the reflect ring in this chest, then I can grab the Enhancer Sword. It's +3 magic and 102 attack power. Probably useful when I'm not spamming Aeroga. Finally, the second Aegis shield. Unfortunately, I only have one shield user, so this is never getting used. I fell to the basement, I grabbed the final tablet. Then I put on coral rings, and I watched in horror as Red Guy was obliterated. He had to have been fire type, right? He must have been. Alright, Leviathan, what do you got? I'm opening up with Big Guard. Ferris is then throwing an arrow out. Okay, that damage is decent. Cryle's out here using Quick into Double Meteor. Yeah, that's way better. I'm thinking Time Magic is my new best friend. Leviathan is Tidal Wave countering within my stopped time? Does he have the same type of stand? Regardless, Leviathan's getting blasted with meteors and arrowgas until he's dead. I suffered no losses. That's a second reflect ring for me, and I'm out of here. I have some major concerns regarding just how I'm actually going to damage the super bosses. I return to farm stingrays. Within 5 minutes of leaving History Falls, I had a Dragonbeard. Lucky me. Now I return to the Northern Desert. I mountaineered Alpine style up to face against Bahamut. Bartz is using Quick to get some double Dragonbeard whip cracks in. Bahamut isn't actually Dragon type, but that damage is incredibly promising regardless. Everyone else is just using Quick into Double Meteor. I came equipped with both Reflect Rings for safety, but it wasn't needed. Bahamut's toasted by space rocks. Oh my god, I almost forgot to get the last blue magic spell. The Parthenopes in Phoenix Tower have Roulette. It landed on my blue mage. Then I revived him and won the fight. Every blue magic spell is obtained. The trophy even dinged. Yeah, in all of my playthroughs of the Pixel Remaster, never got all the blue magic. It's time to go. I restocked on items before heading back to Tycoon Castle. I'm sitting pretty at level 43, basically tied for the lowest levels in the Single Job Challenge series. It's time to end this. The treasures of the Rift are meaningless. I have everything that I need. I blitzed my way into the forest to destroy Big Blue Woman, Califasteri. She instantly casted Reflect with her big crystal. I will use Quick into Double Meteor. Reflect doesn't work on space rocks, ya idiot. Califasteri's dead in 2 turns. 4 castings of Meteor total. Save point in the caves, and this is going to be incredibly important. Here's Omega, and yeah, I tried a few times and it did not go well. Specifically Confuse was wrecking me, so I left the Rift and bought Lamia's tiaras. Then I returned, but let's put a pin in Omega for now. I'll come back once I've cleared the rest of the Rift. That means a panda's next in the path of the asteroid belt. I use Quick into Double Meteor, who could have guessed? He's dead before I can say much else. Racing to the end of the game, I stopped by entirely optional boss and fellow blue mage Azomagia, because this will be funny. I use Self-Destruct, which he learned. Then I revived Lena and Azomagia blew himself up on Kryle. Easy, cheesy victory. Catastrophe's a joke. I've got on-demand float from my time wizard, Yogi. And then a single character with a reflect ring can lock it in. Catastrophe tries 100 Gs and it fails. Then I use Quick, Double Meteor. Then I use Quick, Double Meteor. Dead in seconds. That conveniently placed save point is solving my MP issues. Thanks, cottages. Oh no, not a kiss from a woman, how could I ever recover? But it turns out it was a trick! Halicarnassus delays the inevitable with Ribbit. I spend one of my pre-hasted turns curing it. Then I use Quick into Double Meteor, and I'll use this as many times as it takes to smash her into dust. Twintania is up next. My strategy is clearly defined, but I actually don't know if Meteor counts as magic or physicals. Who knows with this guy? I made the wrong choice with coral rings. That means I need a crumb of adjustment. This time, I've got 2 reflect rings on, and I'm using Quick into Double Meteor. Double Meteor means double Mega Flare counters. Bartz and Lena are not reflect ringed up, so they're obliterated. I am so checked out at this point, I actually auto-battle attacked with Kryle and Ferris, and almost lost to Tidal Wave counters again. But I got lucky. Then I got smart. I used Quick into Double Meteor. Twintania's toasted by himself, and Space Rocks. I really am checked out, man. It's been relentless Final Fantasy V, and I'm limping across the finish line. Just a little bit more. I'm in the final area, the Crystal Dimension. Gilgamesh, just leave me alone, okay? Goodbye. Skipping over Shinryu for now, I need to touch that light first. Necrophobe could be annoying and scary, but this will be a joke. I'm opening Quick into Mighty Guard, followed of course by Meteor. Kryle is equipped with Mix, so she's quickly mixing a double death potion concoction. That's 2 dead barriers. Holy comes out, but thanks to Shell, it's not very scary at all. I didn't even get a chance for a second round of double mix because Meteors finished off the final 2 barriers. Necrophobes alone now. Necrophobes' elemental weaknesses can take a back seat. I don't even think it matters anymore. Quick double Meteor is ripping him apart. He did get a single turn, which was double parried with main Gauches. Always make sure to keep all of your interesting and unique gear, folks, exactly for stuff like this. That's all that happened. Gilgamesh showed up, and then I just spammed Aeroga and Meteor as I literally walked away from the game. It's almost over, Wes, just hang on a little longer. When I walked back, I'd won. Crazy, right? The save point is unlocked, and critical because I'm about to face off against the hardest super boss in Final Fantasy V, Shinryu. All of my level and gear grinding, along with meticulous magic manipulation, has led to this exact moment. I opened the chest. I got the first turn. Lucky me, I used Quick. Now I finally have to consult the mix list. I mixed Bacchus Cider via Turtle Shell and Holy Water. That's Berserk on Shinryu. Yes, the strongest super boss in the game can be berserked, negating his insanely deadly magic. I still have another turn, so I beefed it by using Dark Gas. It was supposed to be Dark Sai. Whoops. Lena then ate a 5,000 damage physical from Shinryu. Yeah, she's totally dead. But everybody is equipped with time magic, except for Ferris, but whatever, she's trying, okay? She used Mighty Guard, not that it's gonna do anything. Bartz then used Quick, followed by Phoenix Down on Lena, and then Dragonbeard's Kraken Shinryu for maximum damage. I mean, it's fine. But those main Gauches are really coming in clutch, let me tell ya. Ferris ate it because Shinryu's real fast, so let's do something about that. I used Quick into Phoenix Down and Haste Ega. Really should have had Hermes Sandals on, but Shinryu always opens up with a tidal wave that deals like 8,000 damage. You gotta come in with Coral Rings just in case. My characters have 0 chance of surviving a hit, so there's no point in healing at all. Phoenix Down spam is going to win me this fight. Quick into Phoenix Down plus whatever else I can use. Meteor probably. Yeah, Meteor still seems pretty good. Was farming a Dragonbeard a waste of time? I thought it would be a lot better, honestly. Cryo gets another turn, and I actually managed to not flub it this time around. Quick into mixing Eye Drops and a Dragon Fang for Dark Sai. This is a very potent blind. Yes, Ultimate Super Boss Shinryu can also be blinded. Bartz is back up too. The fight is in the bag. Okay, fine. Since Meteor can low roll, I feel a lot better about the Dragonbeard now. I went ahead and did a Turtle Soup mix with Turtle Shell and Antidote to have Shinryu's defenses. Bart's still only connected for 3,000. I guess it could be worse. The fight has become routine now. Quick, revive whoever Shinryu smashed into the pavement, and then do Meteor or a physical attack if you're Bart's. But people actually kind of just stopped dying. Shinryu's blinded, I have a shield, and those main Gauches are helping out a ton. High rolling Meteors, and Bartz is getting to Quick double whip for 6,000 damage. It's just not long before Shinryu falls. Berserk and Blind working on the hardest boss in the game. Kind of hilarious. And you know what? It's great because I chose to do it that way. This is not like certain other games and there's certain other super bosses where you, the player, have to follow an AI script to beat them. Fatless. But that's a tale for another time. Omega's still left. I trekked back to the previous save point. Omega's setup is a little different. You basically have to absorb fire damage or you are going to have a very bad time. That means I'm equipped with 4x Flame Rings. I also had to swap my gold hairpins for Lamia's tiaras, because Confuse is really bad. Starting off, Ferris immediately gets petrified, cool. Straight into a wave cannon before I can do anything. Cryle used Quick, and just beautiful. Sap still damages you in this world of stopped time. Cryle's using a gold needle, and then Hastega comes out. Now to start buffing up with Mix. Dragon Kiss using Dragon's Fang and Maiden Kisses on everyone. This gives you heavy and dragon type. It should help versus Encircle specifically. Everyone also includes Omega, by the way. That's right. When you have a chemist in your party, all enemies are also dragon type. I'm putting my faith in that Dragonbeard once again. Stabilizing against Omega is pretty hard. Wave Cannon is 50% HP plus sap, so I have to have someone dedicated to spamming White Wind just to stay alive. At least the Resurrection mix is cheap. Phoenix Down and Potion for a full heal. The main Gauches are still here blocking as much as they can. Always grab the Gauche. Atomic Ray is the best case scenario. It's a party-wide full heal thanks to the Flame Rings. I proceeded to then drop Omega's defense with Turtle Soup, and then blasted Bartz with Blessed Kiss for Berserkin Image. 4,700 damage is quite a bit on Omega, believe me. Omega counters damage taken frequently with attacks like Rocket Punch. Thankfully, I'm completely immune. The girls have Lamia's tiaras and Bartz is seeing red. This is a lot of waiting, buffing Bartz's level with Samson's Might and Dragon Power mixes, and healing through wave cannons and Rocket Punch counters with White Wind. There are some bad moments like Blaster and Mustard Bomb killing people, but as long as I have Quick and Mix, I can bring people back up. Then White Wind can keep them at full health. Eventually, through all of those buffs, Bart started whipping for nearly max damage, and that means Omega's on borrowed time. I just kept doing what I was doing. Not the cleanest Omega win, but a win's a win. The final encounter versus X-Death is merely a formality at this point. The Blue and Time Mage are loaded up with main gauches and gold hairpins. Bartz has a dragon beard, and Ferris also has some equipment from shops. I'm level 43 as I walked with my name brand Hermes sandals into the fight. You know X-Death's scared because he hid inside a tree. The ghosts of the Dawn Warriors stop the slurpening on me, and then King Tygooner comes to stop it a second time. Dude, gross. Did you wash your hands? Let this be our final battle. For real. I use Quick into Dragon's Kiss again? On X-Death? Every enemy is Dragon type if you believe in yourself. Everyone's got permanent haste now, so of course, Meteor is the follow-up. Lena's turn to Quick, and she's throwing down Big Guard. Protect and Shell are just gonna make this a heck of a lot safer. And since I'm playing super safe already, White Wind since Bartz got punched one time. Ferris can't really do a whole lot with Drink, so it's Quick into Goliath Tonic for double HP. Then she starts spamming Meteor too. Bartz also uses Quick, who could have guessed? He's whipping X-Death for 6,000 a hit. Twice. Winning is simply a matter of time. X-Death did get a turn and he used Flare on Ferris, who survived thanks to the Goliath Tonic and Shell. Lena uses White Wind on her turn, then gets a Meteor in too. Double Meteors across the board and Phase 1 is over very quickly. Neo X-Death is shaking in his boots. He knows exactly how this is gonna go. I use Quick. Bartz did a little whip spank before blasting Bahamut from the magic lamp. Next is Double Lamp to get rid of the lady in the back with Zantetsuken. 3 parts left, that sounds fine to begin my Meteor spam, but where's the fun in that? I use Quick to double Dragon's Kiss the remaining parts. X-Death's all Dragon type now. Almagust double whiffed, it got parried, and Ferris takes 700 damage. Bro, please try just a little bit harder. Bartz is double whipping every single turn. Everyone else is using Meteor or chucking elixirs to keep the quick Meteor spam going. Grand Cross was mostly a whiff, except the confused hit on Lena. Oh well, I guess I'll use Quick into Smelling Salts. All that Meteor spam led to Bartz whipping the bottom part to death. 2 parts left to go. The Meteors are even more concentrated. A few more rounds of Meteor spam, and yeah, that's the end of it. That was Final Fantasy V, completely crushed using the best jobs. Surprising absolutely nobody. Final Fantasy V using the best jobs was completed in 10 hours, 44 minutes, and 43 seconds. Still about an hour faster than the worst jobs, even though it included a lot of grinding. Farming a doubly rare Dragon Beard, mix ingredients, and every single blue magic spell did take some time. Not to mention beating both super bosses, Shinryu and Omega. With how some of the single job challenges went, this really was a formality, but it is a nice way to finish out the series. Once Blue Mage was locked in, the Fire Crystal didn't really help me that much. Ninja or Ranger would have been a fine pick, but for the party I was going for, Beastmaster really did just make the most sense. Beastmaster and Blue Mage are best friends. White Wind proved very useful throughout the entire run. That alone probably justified Beastmaster's slot. That doesn't even get into 1000 Needles and level 3 Flare. I didn't even have to use Catch and Release a single time. Whipping the endgame bosses with a Dragon Beard was pretty cool. I wasn't sure how well it would work, but I was pleasantly surprised. Time Mage is a decent early game pick for sure. The second you unlock Quick and Meteor, it becomes your number 1. I was on the fence for Summoner versus Time Mage, but Time Mage really was the right call. Chemist has a lot of shenanigans, just like with Blue Mage. One of the more interesting interactions was at the end of the game with the Dragon Beard. Chemist can turn any enemy Dragon type, which means the Dragon Beard would have crushed anything and everything. Berserking and blinding Shinryu is a very common way to beat him, and Chemist can achieve that easily. I don't have a whole lot to say otherwise, but that's enough Final Fantasy V for now. Beating the game with the best jobs was an obvious conclusion to Final Fantasy V. for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see ya when we see ya.